I grew up in Los Angeles. Part of my cultural ancestry is Tongva, which are the original people of Los Angeles. And a lot of my work revolves around looking at land access. Our tribe is not federally recognized, which means we don't have a sovereign land base. So I always have this feeling that I'm, moving through Los Angeles, moving through this territory that's my ancestral homelands, but there's all these private property signs and people call me trespassing or call me a trespasser. And so it's this odd feeling of, this deep connection and then kind of also being told that I don't belong here. So I make these kind of constellation cosmic spaces as a way to kind of point people into interacting with something that they can recognize. A lot of my work references objects or culture that has been erased from the history books, and so I have to give a lot of history lessons and tell these stories in a way that people are not familiar with. Translating my physical work and my installations into this digital kind of augmented reality space really points this Indigenous presence, this Tongva presence, to the future for me.
So they have some artists over here in the US. If I create an augmented reality artwork that is, you're looking at it through your phone and it's activated in that physical space, that's a spatial artwork. So what we have at the LACMA is a spatial artwork. As my hand moves around this environment, I'm holding down the trigger and the red string is growing out of the controller. So what I'm doing here now is I can grab the artwork with my controllers and I can scale it up and look at it very closely. And what I've done is I've pulled in a photo of Mercedes' artwork, which I'm using as a reference at the bottom of this sculpture, and I'm then sculpting on top of it everything else, the ropes and the rocks, and then I recreated it in a 3D program. This is Snapchat's Lens Studio, what we're looking at the moment. So what you can see here is the same painted artwork. It's now been placed on the floor in this 3D environment. So I'll send it to my device. So now we have the artwork. It's in my living room. I don't have a lot of space in my living room, so I'll shrink it down a bit. And you can see the artwork is now on the floor. And then I can go in close and I can look at the details. We have these big long ropes stretching out everywhere in every which direction, and immediately when I gave it to my friend's daughter, who is like 5 years old, she started crawling under the ropes and climbing over the ropes and like literally on her back on the ground, sliding around the ground. And it was really motivating her to explore the art from all of these different vantage points. We can do that with physical art, but it was interesting to see that we also can do that with these virtual artworks, that something that's not tangible has that power. Like, you know that you can walk through it, but still she was kind of going underneath it.
The stones kind of have their own life. The stones, which was really fun, which I can't do when I'm making an installation like that, are like up in the air and they kind of create their own little constellation around the piece. Utilizing these new technologies and these things that maybe I haven't engaged with in the past is a way for me to insert and proclaim that, Tongva people belong in the future visions of place, the future visions of art, and the future visions of technology.